you're in the public space, it's the Christian public space. So it's not the hugest, you're not Taylor Swift, but you are, people, your name is out there and recognizable. And in this internet age, polarized internet age, people are very quick to peg people in different categories.
Yeah.
And because you have focused so much on issues that are controversial, like you're not afraid to touch the third rail.
Yeah.
That inevitably makes people think, oh, Preston Sprinkle, oh, he's this woke, Marxist, liberal, whatever. But then you went to study at John MacArthur Seminary. So clearly you're a right-wing Christian nationalist in disguise. Or what, I don't know. I mean, for anything you could make up, there's probably somebody that's made a YouTube video about it saying that. I wanted Dojo viewers, to get a chance to evaluate, to see you, to see the face behind the podcast, and to hear a little bit about your heart. First of all, like, are you comfortable in the world of evangelicalism? Is that your tribe, or are you an ex-evangelical, or where do you land?
That's a great question. I just had a conversation with a guy about the term. I've had multiple conversations about the term evangelical. Definitely not an ex-evangelical in all that carries. A friend of mine used the term post-evangelical, but I wouldn't fit within his description either, even though I resonate with some things. I would absolutely say I am, I feel like I am part of evangelicalism. My only, if you sense any hesitation, it's just, I'm just not a label kind of guy, and each term, especially today, can mean 10 different things to 9 different people. And so if anybody asks me, are you evangelical? I would immediately say, well, you tell me what you mean by that, and I'll see if I resonate with that term the way you're using it. So I from the time I got saved at 19, God put in my heart an insatiable desire to want to study the Bible. It was unhealthy. I mean, locking myself in a room 7 to 10 hours a day, not talking to people, not eating, just studying. And that carried me through. I mean, I spent 12 years in, undergrad or grad school studying the Bible. I want to keep going. My wife is like, no, you need to go get a job. I'm like, no, I need to do a postdoc. I need to figure out this verse and that, if the God who breathed stars into existence breathed out his word, then I want to spend every ounce of my life studying every word of the Bible. I believe, so my whole life is centered around biblical authority. I hold many traditional views. I'm very passionate about traditional marriage, male, female for life. I believe there's 2 biological sexes and that people should identify by that sex. I am passionately pro-life. I've never voted Democrat. What else? All
the boxes to check.
And I do get called woke and liberal and progressive and stuff. I'm like, that's a weird, but it's people that don't. I mean, they're not actually trying to understand who you are, what you say. They just see a comment, they read into it, and then they race to a label instead of actually, using their heads and thinking through what you're saying. And, so, but, I hold to other, I guess, non-traditional evangelical views. Like, I absolutely love LGBT people, and I have many friends in that community, and I think the church has done a horrible job caring for gay and lesbian people, and have a lot to apologize for. I don't think their theology, we should apologize for our theology, but the way we've carried that out. I now hold to an annihilation view of hell because I think it's profoundly biblical, and I think it's, socially speaking, I don't play by the right left rules. Like the whole political, left, right, center, conservative. I feel like that's like a football field that's been, and people are like, all right, where are you at? The 40-yard line, 50-yard line. Where do you line up? And I'm like, I'm playing baseball. Like, I'm on the mound, and it's green and people run around, but it's not like, I don't. Yeah, but are you on the 40-yard line? I'm like, I'm about to throw a curveball. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't. So I don't. I try to read socio-political issues through the lens of scripture, which should be conservative.
Right.
That should be like, oh, so you're a fighting fundy. I don't know, whatever you want to call me. But then when I say like, I don't think, Christians should support a genocide in Gaza, people flip out. Oh, so you're a left winger. I'm like, what? I don't know. Is saying I don't think killing women and children is a good way to accomplish justice or self-defense. That's what category are you in? Get rid of the categories. Let's ask the question: should we kill mass amounts of women and children in order to accomplish justice? If somebody holds up a baby as a human shield, does your moral impulse say shoot the baby because we need to get the enemy? Like, is that your ethic? Like, is that let's look at the situation in the categories and what's going on, and let's separate misinformation from what's actually going on, and people are just so quick to read everything through a label. So all that to say, I'll stop. I'm going way too far, but I really am not interested in checking off all the boxes of left, right, center in people's traditional political categories when it comes to political issues. So
what you're describing is the virus of partisanism that has infected the church, and the inability. I mean, I remember, I'm not super old. I'm 47, so it's not like I'm this old man, but in my lifetime, I remember when evangelical Christians could have a variety of opinions on a variety of socio-political topics, and their faith wasn't questioned. It was just, oh, you're a Christian, and this is how you think it should work out. Well, I'm a Christian. This is how I think it should work out, and we disagree, and that's politics, and that's the norm. That's gonna happen. There's nothing wrong with that. I feel like around my subjective opinion, it felt like around the 90s, around maybe the Clinton era is when, and maybe that's when the kind of moral majority were just like at the tail end of their influence. But it felt like that's when it became partisan ideology over political discussion, and it became like which team red, team blue. I mean, there was that before, obviously, but I think about the show Family Ties was all about that. These Democrat family raising this little Republican kid, and so it wasn't like that didn't exist, but it was something that you could laugh at on a sitcom, and then it just became uglier and more visceral. And now it's a cacophony. Now it's all consuming. So people hear their favorite pundit or politician say something about what the other side believes. And then if they hear anyone disagree with that pundit or politician, well, they must be on the other side. And they come at you that way. And I know it's got to be wearying. I mean, to some degree, especially when you see Christians doing it. It is for me. It's soul sucking to have Christians waving the banners of the donkey and the elephant, and you're like, it's the lamb. Follow the lamb.
Yeah.